Hello and welcome to Kelvin's Kitchen. Today I'm excited to share with you a recipe for baked mashed potatoes with Parmesan cheese and breadcrumbs. This dish is creamy, cheesy, and oh, it's so flavorful. It's perfect for a special occasion like a holiday dinner or just a cozy night in. To begin, peel 2 pounds of roasted potatoes and cut them into bite-sized pieces. Transfer the potatoes into a bowl with cold water until we are ready to cook them. Now, set a large pot with water over medium-high heat and bring to a rolling boil. Transfer the potatoes into the boiling water. Season the water with 1 teaspoon of salt. Cook the potatoes until they are fork tender, about 20 minutes. Then grate 3/4 of a cup of mozzarella cheese. We are also grating 3/4 of a cup of Parmigiano Reggiano, divided. Next, divide the Parmigiano Reggiano into half a cup and 1/4 of a cup. And once the potatoes are fork tender, transfer into a large mixing bowl. To the potatoes, add 4 tablespoons of melted butter, followed by 1 cup of whole milk, 3/4 of a cup of grated mozzarella cheese, half a cup of grated Parmigiano Reggiano, and freshly ground black pepper to taste. Then, using a potato masher, mash your potatoes until smooth. Meanwhile, preheat the oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 200 degrees Celsius. At this point, you may taste and adjust salt and pepper to your liking. However, they don't need any salt as the Parmigiano Reggiano is pretty salty itself. To make the breadcrumb topping, transfer the 1/4 of a cup of Parmigiano Reggiano into a small mixing bowl, followed by 2 tablespoons of Italian-style breadcrumbs. Give that a quick whisk to combine. Next, using cooking spray, spray the bottom of a baking dish. By the way, this is not a 9x13 baking dish. This is a 7.5 by 10.5. If you want to use a 9x13 baking dish, then I would recommend that you double up the recipe. Transfer the mashed potatoes into the baking dish. Then, using a spatula or the back of a spoon, smooth them out just like so. Sprinkle the breadcrumb and cheese mixture over the top. Now, bake at 400 degrees for about 20 minutes or until the top is golden brown. And if everything goes according to plan, your baked mashed potatoes will look like this. To give it a pop of color, add some fresh parsley before serving. Now, check out this B-roll. Ooh. I hope you enjoyed this recipe for baked and mashed potatoes with Parmesan cheese and breadcrumbs. It's such a delicious and comforting dish, perfect for a special occasion or just a cozy night in. If you give this recipe a try, be sure to let me know how it turns out in the comments below. Enjoy! Thanks for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye! To begin, place 2 teaspoons of garlic powder in a small mixing bowl, followed by 1 teaspoon of dry rosemary, 1 teaspoon of dry oregano, 1 teaspoon of dry thyme, 1 teaspoon of cumin, 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika for that smoky flavor, 1 teaspoon of kosher salt, freshly ground black pepper to taste, the juice of 1 full lemon, and last but not least, 3 tablespoons of avocado oil. Give that a quick mix to combine. Now, for this recipe, we are using 4 turkey legs. To ensure that the turkey legs are full of flavor, use a sharp knife and score them just like so. Score 3 times on one side. Flip the turkey leg over and score it 3 more times on the other side as well. Then pour the marinade over the legs. With clean hands, make sure that the turkey legs are covered in the marinade. Cover and transfer to the fridge and let them marinate for at least 1 hour. Preheat your oven to 425 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 220 degrees Celsius. Once your turkey legs have been marinated, transfer them to a roasting pan, preferably with a rack. The rack prevents the turkey legs from touching the bottom of the pan, promoting even cooking as the heat moves in and out through the rack. For best results, use an oven-safe thermometer. When the internal temperature reaches 165 degrees Fahrenheit, the alarm will go off. Now, bake at 425 degrees Fahrenheit for about 1 hour or until the internal temperature reaches 165 degrees Fahrenheit. And if everything goes according to plan, your juicy oven-baked turkey legs will look like this. Let them rest for a couple of minutes before digging in. Your Thanksgiving dinner could not get any easier. I think that now you are ready to eat. Ooh. There you guys have it, juicy oven-baked turkey legs. Enjoy, buen provecho, thanks for watching, see you later, bye! Yeah. For this recipe, we are using 5 sweet potatoes. Using a fork, go ahead and poke your potatoes all over just like so. Meanwhile, preheat the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 177 degrees Celsius. Then grab some aluminum foil and wrap them up individually. Place them on a baking tray, preferably with a rack so they cook evenly. Now, bake at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 1 hour to 1 hour and 20 minutes or until they are cooked all the way through. Meanwhile, finely chop 1 cup of pecans. Then transfer to a mixing bowl. Add 1 cup of brown sugar, followed by half a cup of all-purpose flour and 4 tablespoons of softened butter at room temperature. Now mix the ingredients until thoroughly combined. Once evenly incorporated, set it aside. Once the sweet potatoes have been cooked, remove from the oven. Remove the aluminum foil as they begin to cool down. Once the sweet potatoes are cool enough to handle, peel them and transfer to a large mixing bowl. Using a potato masher, go ahead and make some sweet mashed potatoes. Then add 2 large eggs, followed by half a cup of whole milk, 1 cup of granulated sugar, a pinch of salt, 2 teaspoons of pure vanilla extract, and 1 stick of room temperature butter. Using an electric mixer, mix all the ingredients until well combined. Then grease a 9x13 baking dish. Transfer the sweet potato mixture into the dish. Using a spatula, make sure that you even out the sweet potatoes. Then spread the toppings over the sweet potatoes in an even layer. Now bake at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 40 minutes. And if everything goes according to plan, your sweet potato casserole will look like this. Let the casserole rest for 5 minutes before serving. You are most definitely ready to eat. Ooh. There you guys have it, sweet potato casserole. Enjoy, buen provecho. Thanks for watching. See you later. Bye. To begin, butter up a baking dish with 1 tablespoon of butter. And while you are doing this, preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, that is 177 degrees Celsius. We are using a 9 by 13 baking dish, however you may use a smaller baking dish. Once your baking dish has been prepped, set it aside. Now in a large mixing bowl, add in 2 cans of green beans, followed by 1 can of Campbell's cream of mushroom. Campbell's recipe calls for 1 teaspoon of soy sauce, however we are changing that up for 1 teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce. We are using French's crispy fried onions. Add in 2/3 of a cup of the crispy fried onions, half a cup of milk, a pinch of salt and freshly ground black pepper to taste. Then mix to incorporate. Once evenly incorporated, transfer to the prepared baking dish. The amount of ingredients in this recipe are enough for 4 people. For a larger family, double up or even triple on the recipe. Using a spoon or a spatula, spread out the green bean mixture. Then top it up with some more crispy fried onions. Now bake at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, that is 177 degrees Celsius for about 30 minutes. And after 25 minutes, add in more crispy fried onions during the last 5 minutes of baking time. And if everything goes according to plan, your Campbell's green bean casserole will look like this. Yo, check this out. I think now you are ready to eat. There you guys have it, my version of Campbell's green bean casserole. Enjoy, buen provecho, and thanks for watching. Bye! Traditional sausage stuffing. Coming up. To begin, in a skillet over medium-high heat, add in 1 pound of sausage. Once the sausage starts to get nice and brown, add in 1 full onion diced. Now add in 4 cloves of garlic minced, half a teaspoon of oregano, kosher salt and black pepper to taste. Give that a mix. We want the onion to become translucent. Then add in 1½ cups of celery, 2 tablespoons of butter, Once the butter has melted, add in 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour. We're using the flour as a thickening agent. Let the flour cook off about 2 minutes. Then add in 2 cups of low-sodium chicken stock. Bring to a boil until it thickens. Once it's nice and thick, remove from the heat and set it aside. Next, we need 1 pound loaf of bakery-style bread. You can use sourdough, you can use country-style loaf, anything really would work for this. Cut your loaf into bite-sized pieces. And while we're cutting up the bread, preheat your oven to 425 degrees. Transfer the bread to the preheated oven and toast for about 5 minutes. Then transfer your toasted bread into a large mixing bowl. We're going to toast the bread with about 1 cup of dried cranberries, 1 tablespoon of freshly minced sage, 1 tablespoon of freshly minced thyme, 1 tablespoon of freshly minced rosemary. Then we toast this together. You can use dry herbs, but I feel like fresh tastes way better. Then add 1 egg into 2 cups of heavy cream. Give that a whisk. And now we pour over our bread mixture. This would make our stuffing nice and rich. And then we'll add in our sausage mixture. We toast this together until everything is evenly distributed. Now we're going to lightly grease a 9x13 pan. Transfer all of it into the pan. Flatten out your stuffing so it spreads out evenly. Bake at 425 degrees for 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, the top is brown and crusty and we are ready to eat. And there you guys have it, traditional sausage stuffing. Enjoy! Buen provecho! These turkey legs are crispy on the outside and juicy on the inside, and oh, so much flavor! To begin, let's make a marinade. In a small food processor, add in 5 cloves of garlic, half a teaspoon of oregano, half a teaspoon of ground cumin, 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika, half a teaspoon of salt, about half a teaspoon of freshly ground black pepper, 2 rosemary sprigs without the stems, 4 sprigs of fresh thyme without the stems as well, the juice of 1 full lemon, and 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Then process all the ingredients for a minute or so. Or until it looks like this. For this recipe, we are using 2 turkey legs. Pour the marinade over the legs. I tested this recipe twice before recording this video, and what I realized is that by scoring the legs with a sharp knife, it will give you the most flavor. Being that said, score the legs 6 times, 3 times on each side. Then go in with your fingers and make sure that the marinade is in and out of those turkey legs. Now refrigerate and let it marinate for 1 hour. And after 1 hour, set your air fryer to 390 degrees. Set the time to 33 minutes. 3 minutes are for preheating time. The total cooking time is 30 minutes, 15 minutes per side. After the air fryer basket has been preheated, place the legs inside the basket. Air fryer at 390 degrees for the first 15 minutes. And after 15 minutes, pull the air fryer basket out and flip the turkey legs over. Continue air frying for another 15 minutes. And if everything goes according to plan, your air fryer turkey legs should look like this. The internal temperature should be 180 degrees. Let them rest for a few minutes before digging in. There you guys have it, air fryer turkey legs. Enjoy, buen provecho, and thanks for watching. In the bowl of your stand mixer, add 3 tablespoons of very warm water between 110 to 115 degrees Fahrenheit. Then add 1 packet of active dry yeast. Give it a quick mix and let it rest for about 7 minutes until foamy on top. We need 1 cup of very warm milk between 110 degrees to 115 degrees Fahrenheit. After 7 minutes, add the warm milk to the mixture, followed by 5 tablespoons of unsalted room temperature butter, 3 tablespoons of granulated sugar, 1 teaspoon of fine sea salt, and 1 large egg. Now, using the whisk attachment, whisk until combined. Once combined, switch to the hook attachment. Then gradually add 3½ cups of bread flour. Start mixing on low and continue adding the flour gradually. Once all the flour has been transferred in, change the speed to 2 and mix for 10 minutes. Using a spatula, scrape the bottom of the bowl as needed. The dough should pull away from the sides of the bowl. It will be smooth and elastic. Now, grease up a large mixing bowl with a little bit of oil. Shape the dough just like so and transfer into the mixing bowl. Add a splash of oil to the top of the dough, then cover and let it rest for at least 1½ hours or until doubled in size. And once the dough has doubled in size, transfer into a clean cutting board. We need to divide the dough into roughly 36 same-size balls. I am using a scale to make sure that they are all the same size. However, if you don't have a scale, you can just eyeball it. My dough weighs 2 pounds and 1 ounce. So 2 pounds is 32 ounces, which means each ball will need to weigh 9 ounces each. Cup your hand over each piece and roll over your work surface to form a ball. Spray with non-stick cooking spray a 12-count muffin pan. Then place 3 of the balls into each muffin cup. Oh, and one more thing. Find the written recipe at kelvinskitchen.com. Hey, where are you watching Kelvin's Kitchen from? Let me know in the comment box down below. Cover and let them rise once more for about 30 to 45 minutes. Meanwhile, preheat the oven to 425 degrees Fahrenheit, that is 220 degrees Celsius. Once the dinner rolls have risen, brush them with 2 tablespoons of melted butter. Now, bake at 425 degrees Fahrenheit for about 12 to 14 minutes, or until golden brown. And if everything goes according to plan, your Cloverleaf dinner rolls will look like this. As soon as they come out of the oven, brush them again with 2 more tablespoons of melted butter. Sprinkle a little bit of kosher salt onto each roll while they're still warm. Transfer them to a wire rack and let them cool off for a few minutes. There you guys have it, Cloverleaf dinner rolls. Enjoy! Buen provecho! Thanks for watching. See you later. Bye! Yeah! Super moist, very easy to make, and delicious oven roasted turkey with gravy. Coming up. To begin, we are making a mirepoix by roughly cutting up 4 carrots. In this particular recipe, we are not peeling the carrots or the onions, as we're not going to eat them. We're going to drain them later on. We just want the flavor they're going to provide to the gravy. 2 yellow onions, and 4 celery stacks. Oh, and one more thing. Make sure you wash your vegetables. Now, place the mirepoix at the bottom of your roasting pan and set it aside. In a food processor, add in 2 rosemary stems. A couple of branches of fresh thyme. 2 branches of fresh sage. A splash of extra virgin olive oil. A pinch of salt and black pepper. Add in the zest of 2 lemons. Squeeze both lemons into the food processor. Add in 1 full head of garlic. And blend it all in. After a couple of minutes, this is done. Let's move on to the next step. In a mixing bowl, add in 2 sticks of butter. Pour the marinade over the butter. Add in 2 tablespoons of kosher salt. I know it sounds like a lot of salt, but trust me, you need it. Black pepper to taste. Now with a fork, we're going to mash it all up. Make sure that you use softened butter. Here we have a 13.5-pound turkey. My turkey came with a pop-up timer. We're going to test it out and see if it actually works. Remove the bag of gizzard and the neck. With a paper towel, pat it dry. We want the turkey to be completely dried out. With your fingers, get underneath the skin. And do not use anything sharp to do this. You can use a spatula or your fingers. It is quite easy. We need to create room to insert the butter. Once you're done with the bottom part, turn the turkey around and do the same thing around the neck area. Go inside with your finger, and the skin is pretty tough, so it shouldn't break. And slowly but surely, you create some room inside the turkey skin. Season the inside cavity with a pinch of salt and black pepper to taste. Now insert the flavored butter inside the turkey skin. Use the rest of the butter and rub it all around the turkey, back and front. Stuff the turkey with 2 pieces of onion from our mirepoix, a piece of carrot, and some celery. A branch of fresh sage, 2 branches of fresh rosemary, now we're going to secure the legs together by tying them together. Add the neck and gizzards to the bottom of the roasting pan. Tuck the wings behind the turkey and transfer the turkey onto a wire rack inside the roasting pan. Rub the rest of the butter onto the turkey. Add 1 cup of chicken stock to the bottom of the pan. A splash of extra virgin olive oil. The olive oil will prevent the butter from burning. One last sprinkle of kosher salt and black pepper to taste. Roast at 325 degrees until the internal temperature has reached 165 degrees. That's roughly about 15 minutes per pound. And if everything goes according to plan, your turkey would look like this. At 13 pounds, my turkey took about 3 hours. The pop-up timer was pretty accurate. It did pop up once the internal temperature was at 165 degrees. Baste the turkey and let it rest for about 20 minutes to half an hour before digging in. Let's move this bird onto a platter so we can make our gravy. And while the turkey is resting, let's go ahead and make the gravy. In a pan over medium heat, add in 2 tablespoons of butter. Quarter of a cup of flour, give that a mix until the flour cooks off about 2 minutes. Add in 2 cups of chicken stock. Add everything from the roasting pan into the pot. We're going to cook it off for about 20 minutes. Now we drain the gravy. Set the fire to medium-low and let it simmer. After simmering for about 5 to 7 minutes, the gravy has thickened up and we are almost ready to eat. And there you guys have it. Super moist, easy to make, delicious roasted turkey with gravy. Enjoy. Buen provecho.